Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with the Morel Brothers. Thank you for everybody out there who support what we do. Thank you for those of you who like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you. We thank those of you who don't like us either.
Yeah, shout out to an enlightened dummy. I did want to say that. I'm so glad you're watching the videos.
Thank you for watching.
You.
People in Grenada, we love you. People here in the U.S., we love you too. For those of you around the world who haven't seen us yet and who will discover us later on down the line, we want to give a thanks to you in advance. So today I have a guest on the show. She is a young woman who lives in this world that we live in, and we want to give her an opportunity and a space to give her opinion. And that's what we do here. We try to cultivate a place where anyone can speak their mind and use what they have experienced to just be who they are and um, express themselves. So my name's Craig. I'm your host, of course, and you are.
I'm Alyssa Morel, daughter of Craig. I am a full-time auto technician. So I feel like I have quite a bit of insight as a woman in a male-dominated field. So I feel like I have every right to speak on this topic
Amen.
today.
So for those of you who don't know, Alyssa, she's holding
19.
and you've dated, right?
Yeah.
You've been in the dating world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You've had partners, right? So today's topic, we're going to talk about just a little bit, right? About about the young men in our society and your experience with with how men or the young men that are coming up in this new generation, how they behave and how they act and what you think about that. So I'm gonna give you the floor and I want you to tell me from your experience, what do you think the young men of this age, how they are and how they behave?
So I want to say that a lot of I don't want to say men because they don't act like men. A lot of the males in the younger males in this generation, they have they don't have the same motives as the older generation. And I don't want to say, oh, well, I date older men because I definitely do date men my age, and that's how I know. It's just like, for one, it's hard. It's for me. It's hard to explain a little bit without doing a lot of, fillers and stuttering. But I'm gonna try my best. They don't have the same, like, let's kind of break it down a little bit. We can start with work ethic.
Okay.
Um, their work ethic is not the same as the older generation. I work around both young and older men, and the way they work is really different. It's like you have the older men who've been in the industry I work in. We're gonna use the industry I work in as an example too. You can see how they work. You see how when they come in a certain way. They carry themselves in a different manner than younger men. Younger men, oh, I don't want to do this. Who gives a fuck about? I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being people being the boss of me. Like, how are you supposed to have order when there's no change and you don't enjoy you don't enjoy being under someone else. That's what it means to work. Sometimes you have to work under people before you can work for yourself.
True.
And a lot of younger men don't understand that. And then dating. Um, a lot of men nowadays don't want to date. And maybe it could have been the same, in the past. I wouldn't know. But it seems like a lot of men aren't in the mindset to make a woman happy. That's not really their goal when they speak to women most of the time. And I'm not saying every man or every boy or every guy of this generation acts this way. However, there's a large percentage that don't seem like their best interest would ever be women. Like they'll use women in the moment to, have fun and have sex and, get their little attention. But once that dries up or they get bored of it, they hop to the next thing, and it's like they don't want anything long term with anyone either. It's kind of like they're only in it for themselves. And I can't say it's only men, but I'm saying it from my perspective of what I see on the day-to-day basis because I'm around men more than 90% of the time.
Right.
So I know there's women out there that do this. There's women out there that have that mindset as well. But what I'm seeing is a large, ginormous percentage of young men with this lazy, arrogant, attention-seeking attitude, and it gets them nowhere. And I see it like in real time.
So from your experience, and I'm going to ask this question, do you think that the young men of this generation has what it takes to move this country forward? And I'm asking this because I believe that men are supposed to be inherent leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're born to lead, and that's my opinion.
Right.
From your experience, the men that you've encountered from your generation, what do you think? What do you think? Where do you think that they can lead this country? Or not even the whole country, just their 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 significant other, their families, if they do build one. What do you think?
Well, I want to start off with I feel like in this generation, it's sort of going to be more of women than more than men. And I know that they're supposed to be inherent leaders but they don't act like it. And who always has to step up? It's mainly, I don't want to say this, Black women.
Okay.
Always. 90% of the time. And I'm going to use that a lot. 90% of the time because that's always who that's and even in the past, Black women have always stepped up.
Okay.
Now, where I think they should lead, as far as what do you mean by where do I think they should lead as
So
far
so
as
here's my opinion. This is just an opinion, America. I believe that men,
hmm
right, real men, they should be the head, and I believe that in every situation, the man should be the forefront, saying, "Hey, I am going to take the lead here. This is what we're going to do. This is what I believe should happen." And it's not necessarily always the right direction to go. However, they step up to the plate and say, "Hey, I'm going to take the lead here and I'm going to move forward. Right.
I
And they're going
understand.
to be men. Right. And
Yeah.
that's what I believe. And it's just my opinion. I believe that, and I'm looking into the camera for this one. I believe a lot of our young men, they don't know how to be leaders. They don't know how to make decisions. They don't know how to say, you know what, this is the direction I feel like we should go, or I believe that we should go. So continue.
I'd like to add something to that.
Go for it.
I saw this video the other day of this woman in a foreign country, and
Mhm.
she was with her boyfriend, and she was getting mugged by a guy. Like he was trying to take her purse or like something, or try to stab her or something like that. He was trying to hurt her. The boyfriend just hid around the corner and let the woman fight for herself, right? Until three larger men came and disarmed the man. The men looked older.
Mhm.
That's sort of where they need to step up. To answer your question, a lot of them do need to step up when it's time to when it's life or death, especially for your woman or your family. You do need to be able to step up. You need to be able to say, hey, either I'm going to help everyone or I'm going to die helping the people I love. You know what I'm saying? You have to step in
Do you see
there.
that? Do you see that quality in any of the young men that you've been around and dated and have any experience with? Do you see that quality?
Um, a lot of them, no. A lot of them that I dated, like as I was growing into who I am now, absolutely not. But now that people I surround myself with, I can see it happening for sure. But in the past, no. I'd see myself having to fight on my own before they even thought about defending
All
me.
right. So hold that thought. Now, now that you've listened to what she had to say, and tell me again, how old are you?
19.
19. Graduated from high school, decided, hey, I want to be a service technician. And the young men that that you have encountered in your 19 years of living doesn't have the ability, or let me not say that. They do have the ability, but they have not cultivated the ability to step up and be men and take care of the women in their lives. And I, as a man, believe that we have we have lost the the inherent nature to be leaders as men. And I believe a lot of it has to do with not having real men at home, right? To teach younger boys to be men, and not to lose yourself in taking care of a woman, or giving your woman everything that she wants, but being the leader, and stepping up and saying, hey, I'm going to protect what is mine. And if you're mine, you're my daughter. If I see you out on the street and I'm passing by and someone is taking advantage of you, as a man, I would step up and be like, hey, look, this is mine. And if you're going to take advantage of her, you're going to have to deal with me as a man. Regardless of if I'm scared, or if I'm shaking, or if I don't think I can handle the situation, but I'm going to stand firm and I'm going to protect what is mine. And I don't believe that the young men in our generation have that sense of duty to be men. And if you have a comment out there, if you have a difference of opinion, please leave it in the comments because from I'll be 44 years this year, and I believe I have lived long enough to see patterns and see how the young men in our community are behaving. They behave like women, a lot of them, and you're laughing, but
Because I say this almost every
they
day.
behave like they behave like women.
All of it, like gossip. They talk on the phone about you, talk behind your back. They'll everything that you'll say, man. That's like for bitches.
Our young men does that, and I want to know, America, Grenada, around the world, whoever's watching, why do you think that the young men in this new generation behave like that? And I have my own opinions about this. I have my thoughts about this, but I want to see what you guys think before I make those comments, before I go out on a limb and make any assumptions. And I just think that a lot of it stems from home. A lot of it stems from young men being raised by women only, without a without another man to say, hey, these are some of the things that you should do as a man. And I may be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. If a man is raised by a woman, does not mean that he's gonna have feminine traits, because all men have feminine traits, but doesn't mean that he's gonna behave like a woman. But if a young man does not have a another man to learn from, or find someone out there that is a man that he can learn from, whether it be good or bad, right? He's gonna cultivate feminine traits and not know how to be a man. And he's gonna live by the example that he sees, right? Most times there's cases where young men are raised by women only and turn out to be great men, right? And that is fantastic. But most times when a young boy is raised by women only, the traits that he exhibits is feminine and woman-like, and don't know how to stand on his own 2 feet. Thank you for coming on and talking to me and giving me your opinion.
Mhm. I have one more saying I want to add, and it's a really normal saying in 2025. I hear it a lot, and it's who's gonna be the boy?
No, tell
A
me more.
lot of women say that.
Tell me more about that.
There's a lot of situations, just a whole fuckload of
All
situations
right.
that where the woman has to step up as the man in the situation. And plenty of women say this all the time. Who's gonna be the boy? So let's ask everybody in the comments who's gonna be the boy.
Respectfully. However, who's going to be the boy? We are not going to be boys. We're going to be men. And there's a difference between being a boy and being a man. And until we can figure that out, our younger generation, I just I it's to me it just seems very bleak because I see a lot of boys. I don't see young men growing. I see young boys being so feminine they don't even know how to go outside and cut the grass without, you know, crying about it or change a tire or
Yeah, I'm doing all that shit.
we need to be men. And thanks for coming on and giving me your opinion. I appreciate you coming on. I know this is not the norm, but it's always good to have a difference of opinion and be able to give your side and your perspective. So thank you for coming on and talking to me about this. It's very eye opening and um, it's very therapeutic to be able to sit and talk to my 19-year-old daughter. She's like almost a grown woman. She thinks she's grown, but she's not there yet.
Right,
But
okay.
what? But what? But
Nothing.
what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Take that.
I'll
Take
take
that.
it.
Take that. Take that.
I'll take it.
Thank you guys for joining us today. Uh, look, if something that we talked about today or something that we said today uh, struck a nerve or hit home, we would love to have your comments. Um, we'll talk about it if you wish to. Let's talk with the Morel brothers, where you can have a space to give your opinion and be free. And that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for joining us today.